I come up with a question from projections of solid. Okay, let me read out the question first so that you will get what it is being given in the question. A hexagonal prism, side of base 25 mm and axis 50 mm long, rests with one of its base corner on HP, such that its axis makes an angle of 30 degree to HP and its axis is parallel to VP. Draw its projections. Okay. Let me take the given data. First, what is the object? Object given. It's a hexagonal prism. Prism, right? And its side is given with 25 mm and height of the object, axis height is given as 50 mm. Okay. And then how it is resting? How it is? It's rests with one of its base corner on HP, right? One of its base, resting with base corner on HP, okay? And then such that its axis, then take the detail about the axis inclination. Axis is inclined 30 degree to HP, 30 degree to HP. So these are the things being given in our question. Okay, so for this we have to get the final front view and final top view. The given object is a prism. It is a hexagonal prism. So this is a hexagonal object. Prism in the sense we know it has two bases and parallel face or rectangular faces, right? So this is how the object will be. Okay, so as far as this question concerned, what about the condition? What about the position? So consider this as horizontal plane and this as a vertical plane. So if it is, the axis is inclined 30 degree to HP, axis is inclined to HP. So we are well familiar about the position when the axis is inclined to HP, the object position will be something like this. Now it is making parallel with VP. The condition is satisfied. The HZ position is something like this. So we are familiar in when the object or when the solid axis is inclined to any of the plane, we cannot get the observation of or true shape. So the final front view and final top view prediction going to be a challenging one. So we will be moving with the method called change in position method or rotating object method. So it consists of two stages. One is a simple position and then the axis inclination, right? Okay, so for that I'm going to take the reference line XY. It's a first angle projection. Above the line is a VP and below the line is a HP. Okay, so first stage is a simple position. And the second stage is an axis inclination or special condition will be falling on the second case. Okay. So in the simple position, we have to take the assumption. I gave it in the introduction part. If the axis is inclined to HP, we have to take the assumption as axis perpendicular to HP. Since it is perpendicular to HP, I'm going to keep the object something like this so that the axis, that means the imaginary line passing through the top and bottom base of the center, will be 90 degree with the horizontal plane. The exact position is like this. So now we know from the top view the true shape of the object is seen, and in the front view what the true length or height of the object can be seen. Rectangular faces can be seen. Okay, so since it is kept perpendicular to HP, since it is kept perpendicular to HP, in the HP plane, the true shape will fall. The true shape will fall from the top view. That means on HP. So in the HP, I am going to draw. So while you position the object just like a plane, we have to consider a things. Okay, it's an important one. That means how it is been resting, either with a corner or either with a side. Okay, here it is given base corner. Okay, the same things which followed in the plane we have to remember here as well. Okay, so as far as the hexagon is concerned, we shall keep the object something like this, something like this. Okay, as well we can also keep the object like this. So both the positions are for the hexagon. We have the practice in the plane itself. Whenever the plane or a solid is resting, that resting should be kept on the right side. So as far as here in the first condition, see, this is the right and this is the left. Here is the right and here is the left. In which position, either in the first or second, the corner is coming at the right. In the first position, it is being kept, the corner is being kept at right. So in the second position, the side or edge is, base edge is kept at the right. So the first condition is right for this question concern. If it is a edge, we have to go with the second one. Fine. So we are going with the first case, first position, right? So for that, we know the procedure to draw the hexagon. So first we need to draw the baseline. This line I am going to draw. Since the measurement of the side is given as 25 mm, have taken a horizontal line with the measurement 25. Okay. And next, in order to draw all the 6 sides, how to take your compass and measure this 25 in your compass, and keeping at the one of the end, go for a cut mark, and from the other end, go for a cut mark, so that you will find the center for the polygon, center for the true shape, right? So after having the center, by keeping the center with the same measurement 25, go for the circle. If your drawing is good, you will get this circle something like this. It passes through the both ends. Okay, and if you cut from the end, you will get a markings like this. From the end with the same measurement 25, if you have a cut, you will get like this. And then from the cut mark, have a cut. From this cut mark, have a cut. So if you connect the things, you get the hexagon. You will get the hexagon. This is how the hexagon will be formed. How to follow the same procedure in order to construct it? Okay. So here I am going to draw a neat diagram. Since approximate diagram I couldn't make it a perfect one, so I am going with this, right? So you have to make with the circular method. How to make this circular method? So the exact shape of the things will be like this. Okay, and here you will get the center for the circle, and there will be a circle. Fine. So this is the true shape which we can get from the top view. So this is a top base and this is a bottom base. I'm gonna give the name. This is A, B, C, D, E, F, and the bottom base P, Q, R, S, T, and U. So here A, B, C, D, E, and F. What about the bottom base? When you are looking from the top orthogonally to the object, the bottom base will be invisible, right? It will be just lying behind the top base, so it will be invisible one. So you have to make P, Q, R, S, T, and U as invisible one. You have to take inside the bracket. Behind A there is P, so nearby A I have taken P. The same likewise behind B there is a Q, so I have taken nearby B inside the bracket. The same likewise C, D, E and F, which will be lying R, S, T and U. Okay, fine. So next, the axis perpendicular to HP, we have taken the top view. Now go for the next view, that is front view. So for that you need to take the projectors from each and every corners from the base. So you will get the trace something like this. Have to extend it up to maximum. Now see, what about the axis height? It is given 50 mm. Axis height is given as 50 mm. So this is a center for the polygon, or the center for the solid object. So from the center as well, take the line. So this is a center. So what you can do is, you need to take long line dash or long line dot. This is meant for rotating the center line. Now this axis is 50 mm. So take 50 mm in your compass and just go for a cut mark. Just go for a cut mark. Just have a markings. And in that marking, you just go for a horizontal line, so that the front view observation, the top line can be drawn. From the front view, you could see just like a straight line that we have done here. Okay, the extra lines can be removed. Remove it. Now the important part is we need to give the namings. As for the front view concerned, we have to look the object something like this. Something like this. When you are looking, see, when you are looking, this object is kept like this. A, P is visible, and B, Q is visible, and C and R is visible, and then D and S is visible, right? A, B, C, D, it's given, which is visible in the top, and then P, Q, or S will be visible from the front, right? So when you are looking from the front, concentrate on the top base first. A, B, C, D will be visible. A, B, C, D will be visible. A, B, here it is a dash mark, it's a front view. So C and D is a visible. And then F and E just lying behind C, and F is just lying B. So nearby C, I gonna write E, and nearby B, I gonna write F. F dash, E dash. What about the bottom base? P, Q, R and S is a visible one. From the bottom base, P, Q, R and S is a visible. P, Q, R and S. P dash, Q dash, R dash and S dash is a visible. What is invisible? T and F. T and what? U is invisible. U behind Q and T is behind R. So nearby R I gonna write T dash, and nearby Q I gonna write U dash. Okay. Now we know A and P is a visible edge, so make as a dark one, and also we can say always when you are getting the observation, boundary will be visible one. That means top you can see the end line, bottom you can see the end line, the right extreme, left extreme you can see the end line, and right left extreme you can see the end line. So what we can do is always without any confusion, in order to take the dark line, you can make the boundary as a dark one. This is the boundary. Always the boundary will be a dark line, visible line. So make as a dark line. And here B and Q, longer edge is a visible, right? In the same place we are having F and U. When you are coming to the part of visible edges and invisible edges, visible edge we will be notating as what? Dark line, An invisible line we will be notating as dashed line. But when you are having the both lines at the same place, how to give the preference to the visible? Preference to the visible. If you are having in the same place the axis line always make it in your mind, always preference should be given to the visible line. If in the same place you are having the three lines, visible, invisible edge, as well the axis, in the sense you have to give the preference to visible. If you are having invisible and axis, we have to give preference to invisible. Invisible and axis line, in the sense you have to give preference to invisible. Here visible edge B and Q is there, longer edge, and F and U is there. So preference should be given to the visible one. So make us a dark line. It's an axis, there is no edges been coming in the part of line, right? So just leave it. Come to next one, C to OR, it's a visible edge, and E and T is an invisible edge. So preference should be given to the visible one, so make us a dark one. Already it's been done. So this is how we have to make what visible and invisible edges. The diagram contains the three line will be there. One is a visible, invisible, and axis. So according to the preference, how to make the things. Okay, I hope you understood. Let me move to the second stage, axis inclination. Okay, axis inclination. So axis is inclined 30 degree to HP. So now the object is being kept something like this. Now I am going to tilt the object 30 degree with the HP plane like this. It is just like this, the top view and the front view we have taken. Now we are going to tilt the object just making 30 degree with the HP, 30 degree with the HP. So axis is inclined, right? So here is the axis, you can see evidently it is being kept 90 degree with the horizontal plane. It should be tilted. So see, all the parallel edges or all the longer edges, see, with respect to axis, it is been parallel. It is been parallel. So instead of tilting the axis, I gonna tilt first the longer edge D and S. Okay, and the condition is when you are tilting the object, one of the base corners should rest. So here we have kept the S as a base resting corner. Here you can see this is a resting corner on the base. So what we have to do is first take with the help of your protractor measurement 30 degree, go for a inclined line. Okay, and then it's a 30 degree line. It is the side, longer side D and S. Without measurement, go for a line, and then take your compass and measure S to D, the measurement in your compass, and go for a cut mark from the point, so that you will get S1 dash and D1 dash, both the edge. Now see, in order to reproduce the image, all the sides being kept 90 degree to the adjacent side, right? All the sides are 90 degree. So what I am going to do is from the S, I am going to take the 90 degree line with respect to the edge. Same from the D, take a 90 degree line. Okay. Now you are going to reproduce the same image over the inclined line. So for that, take all the measurement. First I am going with the base. Just take the measurement S2, or what is the measurement? Just go for a transfer. Then measure S2Q, what is the measurement? And just go for a cut mark. Here it is and here it is. Okay. And next measurement S2P, go for a cut mark, so that here will get. Okay. So this is P1 dash, and here is Q1 dash and U1 dash, and here is R1 dash and T1 dash. Now we know all the adjacent sides being kept 90 degree perpendicular, right? So from the P, get the perpendicular line, 90 degree line, so that the line coming from D will meet somewhere here. Okay, so this is the boundary for the rectangular face. This corner is A1 dash. And then the same principle, what we can do is, here we know all the edges are being parallel to each other, am I right? So we can take the parallel line from these cutted points. So if we take a parallel line, that means 90 degree line with respect to this base, like this, you can take the 90 degree line, so that you will find B1 dash and F1 dash. Take the 90 degree line from the R and T point. So if you take the 90 degree line, something like this, you'll get the end C1 dash and E1 dash. Okay, this is a D1. You can avoid the confusion. So this is a C1 dash and E1 dash. Okay, the same image we are drawn in the tilted manner. So without any confusion, what are the edges are given as a dark line, you can go for a dark one. Always the boundary will be a dark one. So make as a dark one, and this edge is a dark, go for a dark one, go for a dark one, like this. When you are tilting with the same measurement, you will get here. Okay, fine. Then axis is there. For that you can take the measurement from the S, just reproduce it with the same measurement, cut it here, so that you will get axis. Okay, so this axis is being inclined 30 degree. Here you can mark as 30 degree by extending the line to the XY. So this is the final front view. What is next? Final top view. So for that, how to take the projector from the previous stage, like this, the perpendicular vertical lines, vertical projector, from both the ends or bases we can take the lines like this, and from the previous stage take the horizontal projectors. So F and E will be coming in the same line, these 4 points will be coming in the same line, these corners B and C will be coming in the same line. So these are the projectors line. So after that, after getting the construction line, you can go for the mapping work just like a plane. Okay, so here is the first, concentrate on the top base. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F is a top base. So A horizontal is coming vertical, so this would be your A1. Here is B and here is the B vertical, so this would be B1. C horizontal and C vertical, so this would be C1. D horizontal, D vertical, so this would be D1. So here would be your E1 and here would be your F1. The same manner go for the bottom base PQ or ST and U. So here is the horizontal and vertical, so meeting point will be P1. So here is Q1, here is R1, here is S1. You just go with the meeting point. So this is a horizontal T and here is a vertical T is T1, and U horizontal, U vertical, so this will be U1. So just pick all the intersection point with respect to horizontal and vertical line. Okay, after completing it, how to form a checklist, because you should not miss any of the edges. Okay, so in the checklist, as far as the prism is concerned, you have top base and bottom base and longer edge. These are the major portions. So top base we have notated as A, B, C, D and E. E and F. A, B, C, D, E and F. And the bottom base we have given as P, Q, or S, T and U. Okay, these are the connection we have given. And then longer edge connection, if you see A to P, there is a connection, and B to Q there is a connection as well, C to or there is a connection, D to S there is a connection, E to T and F to U. The same likewise how to, we should not miss up, so write the longer edge, the connections as what, A to P, okay, and then B to Q, C to R, D to E, and D to S, and E to what, T, and F to U. Okay, these are the longer edge. It's a hexagon, so 6 longer edges will be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you have any doubt, you can take from the front view, simple position front view, you can take it. Right. So now we are going to mark the things. Always keep remember, when the object is tilted with respect to any of the plane, anyhow, when you are taking the observation, always the boundary will be a visible one. Okay, definitely there will be a boundary for any of the object. If it is kept at any position, there will be a boundary. So outermost edges will be a visible one, right? So without confusion, first hint, close the boundary. Close the boundary. That means the outermost points. So here P to Q, I am going to connect it, Q to R to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, F to T, T to U, and E to P. So these are the boundary. Now the object is something like this. So I have drawn all the boundary of the object, outermost point. Okay. So now you have to concentrate on the top base. First boundary should be closed, and second is a top base. Top base. Okay, top base. So when it is inclined such manner, when you are getting the view from the top, when you are looking the object orthogonally, definitely when it is inclined, if it is inclined to 1 degree, as well you can see the top base. Okay, if it is even inclined to 1 degree, always you can see the top base. Okay, so here the top base will be visible just like a skewed manner. Okay, so what I am going to do is A, B, C, D, E and F I am going to connect as a dark line. Okay, so top base always will be a visible one. So here already some of partial portions have been done. So A and B should be a dark line, as well A to F should be a dark line, since the top base is visible from the top. And then concentrate on the bottom base. Top base over. Now concentrate on the bottom base. Bottom base. So bottom base connection P, Q, or S, T and U. So the object is just like this. We have notated as this is P, Q, or S, T and U. When it is inclined, okay, the portion which is lying below the axis, something like this. Here is the axis, portion which is lying below the axis, we can call it as a what? Invisible one. That means the connections of Q and R and T will be a invisible one. The portion which is lying below the axis, it will be invisible when you are looking from the top. So that means the line R to S and S to T will be invisible. These are the edges. These are the edges. Okay. So R to S and S to T. R to S and S to T are going to connect as a invisible line. Okay, fine. And the next, the third step is longer edge. In this position, maximum edge we have covered in the boundary itself. That means the longer edge QB or C, and then UF and TE are covered in the boundary itself. The remaining one is P2A, longer edge is remaining, P2A, the longer edge is remaining, and then S2D is remaining. S2D. These are the edge is remaining. All the other edges we have been covered in the boundary. So P2A. Here I have noted as P, this is Q or S, T, U. Here A, B, C, D, E, F. So P2A, when you are having a look from the top, P2A, it's clearly visible. This edge is clearly visible. Am I right? P2A. So you have to make P2A as a dark one. Dark one. What about S2D? P, Q or S. So this is the S and this is the D. This is the edge. It is just behind which edge? Which edge? P2A. Am I right? So when you are having a look from the top, it will be invisible, just hidden behind the longer edge P and A. So what we can do is we have to make it as a dash line. So S to A, it is already been covered in the dark line, so we should not disturb it. Preference always should be given to the dark line. Rest of the portion we can make as a dashed line. Okay, S to D, there is a hidden edge, but we are showing A to D itself only, right? Okay, so this is how we have to obtain the final top view. So this diagram concerns you have to, first of all, you have to take the projector from the previous stages, okay, and afterwards do the mapping works, and then just make a checklist, okay, top base what is the connection, bottom base what is the connection, and longer edge which are the edges are there, okay, you have to just bring it to in your mind, and afterwards you have to go with the procedure. Always the boundary should be closed first, okay, always boundary should be closed, and afterwards concentrate on the top base. When it is inclined, when the object is inclined, definitely the top base will be 100% visible to any of the degree, right? So without any confusion, you can make the top base and look for the bottom base. Bottom base will be always when it is inclined, partially visible and partially invisible. So you have to note the things and then go for the longer edges. So if you do the connections, you will get the final top view. Okay, so afterwards you have to make the dimensions, right? So here the hexagon side which is given as 25 mm. So here I going to capture it because dimension work is an important one. So here you can capture it 25 mm. You have to make the filled arrow, something like this, right? And then height of the object, axis height is given. So here I going to take a vertical line parallel to the axis and right above it 50, okay, 50, and then the important part is the inclination. Axis is inclined, so take the inclined line from the axis and note as a 30 mm. Afterwards write the note about the dimension. Here we have taken all the dimension in mm. So take all dimensions, or in mm, or in mm. Okay. So also you can write about scale. Here we didn't disturb as it is in the question. We have captured the things, so you can write scale 1:1. Thank you so much. I hope you understood the things.